Hey, welcome to Wrestling in a Movie. I'm Scott. Dave is there, and hey, special guest today, Dab Savage, professional wrestler, writer, actor, musician.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anything else?
Well, my mom may watch this, so we'll kind of keep that on the down low.
Good.
But vivid pictures.
So you did go back to that contract.
Well, that was Bang Brothers, man. That was
Okay. All right. So folks, if you wonder why we took a turn this way, Dab has written a book, a very open book about his life as a professional wrestler and an actor, and some of his adventures and stories of just life in general, which reminded Dave and myself of growing up and making some really dumb choices. No offense, Dab.
No problem.
Because that was me too.
It's just Crystal Light in the Solo Cup, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Starting already. There we go.
The name of the book is Legacy of Audacity. It is on Kindle. I recommend it. It was a fun read. It was a quick read. Let me ask you, what made you want to write the book, Deb?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have talked about it like to my buddies, around a campfire, slugging some Coors Lights or whatever. Like, man,
Right.
as crazy as your life is, you should write a book. And I've always like, yeah, that'd be cool. And man, about 15 years ago or so, I began to start it, but I hadn't even lived life yet. And so I was,
Right.
and we'll get into it, but like I'm 42 now. I know I exfoliate, so I still look pretty good at 42, obviously my days of taking bumps and getting hit with chairs and stuff like that are done. And,
Right.
but never say never, brother. So I was just like, man, what can I do? And I play music, and I try to be creative in different ways to keep myself from, because when you have done something like acting or pro wrestling or anything that's an entertainment, man, the hardest thing to do, and I talk about this some in the book, is trying to come back to being a normal human being. You literally, I was wrestling for TNA, in front of a few thousand people. And the next day I started a new job in a fucking cell phone booth. You know what I mean? And it's it's like, goddamn, like, it's like blow your brains out bad. So, a part of kind of evolving and is trying to do things as you're kind of transitioning back into being a normal person. And so, honestly, man, I just picked up my notepad and I just started freeballing it. And next thing I know, I'm like on chapter 3, and I was like, man, this has got some legs. And and then I just had such a good time. It's kind of like you guys were saying, like, it just started bringing back all these fun memories and all these cool things that I had done. And I couldn't stop, because oh man, like in 2 more years, blah, 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 blah is going to happen. So I can't wait to get to chapter 7. And, and so it just kind of spiraled. And, my goal was for it to be, I've always said that I wanted to write something that was like a, kind of like a male self-help guide, of what not to do. And I think I did a pretty good job of that. So, it's not, and I've got a lot of my friends or people that I don't know that have reached out, that I've looked at, that have read it, that aren't wrestling fans. And I think the wrestling is what got me to the dance. The wrestling is what opened up certain doors, and some were good doors, some were bad doors. But the wrestling's just kind of the wrestling's kind of like the sun, and everything else is just kind of like the clouds and the trees and the sky and the grass and the birds. And the sun is obviously important, but like people want to watch birds too, and people want to look at the stars, and people want to plant trees. Mm-hmm. So, it just kind of, to answer your question in a very, very long-winded answer, it just kind of spiraled, and I got like addicted to it, and it kind of gave me that that buzz that, hearing your music hit before, you go out to get beat up for 15 minutes.
Right.
So yeah, that's why.
So like one memory would lead to another. Cause I know sometimes I'll have like one of those moments, a song will come on and I'll like, oh damn, I remember that. And I remember where I was at when I first heard it. And just like, then you start thinking, you're like, I got to shake my head and go, I got to get out of that.
You got to get down a different rabbit hole.
Like, oh, I don't want to remember that.
Yeah, right. Or it can be the polar opposite. You can hear a song that reminds you of a certain time, and then you're like, oh man, and then you kind of go down this rabbit hole, and it may start off, we'll say grunge, it may start off Nirvana to Alice in Chains to Pearl Jam, and then you're like, oh shit, that Boyz II Men song came out that same year, and then next thing you know, you're like, Boyz II Men, oh that Whitney Houston song, oh that Madonna song, oh that Michael. And it's just like so it can be good and bad, it goes both ways.
That's cool. That's very cool, man. I read it and I enjoyed a lot of it. And a lot of it was just, I don't want to say direct memories because because everybody has different parallels. But there was a lot of stuff in it that I was just like, oh, that hits close to home. For me, that's, I'm an old guy. I'm going on 60. So it's like, oh man, I remember that back in the 80s.
Right. You don't look a day over 58. So
thanks, I appreciate that. I told you I didn't look old, Scott.
It's fine. I'm right behind you, Dave. Right behind you. So, oh man. So you were mentioning music and songs and stuff, and it just made me think of a question. You obviously work out. So what's on your playlist?
Man. So that's funny that you ask. When I'll go to the gym, I mean, I've been a 5 a.m.er since I can even remember. You couldn't catch me at the gym in the evenings or whatever. I like to just get it done and, go about my day. But, man, I walk around all tough, my old tank top on, I'll bow it up and I'll be listening to like Shania Twain and like
I love Shania. No, nothing wrong with that.
Like you would think the year was like 1999 and I was a 14-year-old girl if you saw my playlist. It was, but funny story, just a sidebar off that. This has been like 2 or 3 years ago. There was this older gentleman. His name was Dan. Super cool guy. He's probably 70 something, and but just always in the gym, doing a good job. But he came up to me and he was like, he was like all pumped up. He was, he had his earphones in. He pulled his earphone out. He goes, man, Motley Crue's the best. Fuck the rest. He's like, what you listening to? And I flipped my phone around, and it was like Genie in a Bottle.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's funny.
That's awesome.
He just look at you like this.
Yeah, he's like, weird. My text went from blue to green. I have no idea what happened.
Wow,
that's pretty.
That's awesome. No, I get it. That is funny. That poor guy, he probably traumatized him there. It's like, wait a minute, what's this guy listening to?
It was so cool. Damn. What the hell happened?
He's got that on his. He's like, oh, okay.
Oh. So how long did you end up wrestling total?
Oh man, like consistently for probably about 10 years. And then I would just kind of pick spots and do like fan fest type shows and things like that. So, I might wrestle. There might be a month where I might wrestle twice, and then there might be a 3 or 4 month gap where I didn't wrestle at all, or, and then I it just kind of got to the point where, so when I did I kind of had a goal for myself, and, I talk about this in the book, but my goal, like, when you work independent shows and things like that, you see we used to call them the ECW guys, the guys that, were fucking old and, like were security guard for an ECW show in 1998, and they're fat and out of shape and shit, and they're like trying to give you advice. It's like, bro, I don't want to be anything fucking like you.
Right.
And, they're sitting there, they're taping their fucking knees up, and they're like, they got their guts out of here. They're like, boy, you rust that finish, boy. You should have held him a little longer. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And so,
why don't you get in here and show me?
Yeah, no kidding. You can't even walk to me. Look, I'm all about like dudes that have paved the way and, and that kind of thing, I will listen all day. Or if you're better than me, I will absolutely listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just some fat dude that was a security guard and got a hot dog in 1998 at an ECW show, which you very well could be lying about that too. Don't fucking give me advice. And so, but I had a goal, and I was like, I never want to be that guy, right? Like, I never want to be the old fat guy in a locker room taping his knees up, like, oh, all right, we're gonna call it the ring, brother. Nah, man, I just never want to do that. So, I did the TNA thing in 2014, and that was kind of my last hurrah. I put all my eggs into that basket. I had done a couple tryouts with them, and didn't really go far, but I actually got to work at, an actual match, and so I was like, this is like my chance. Like, if I'm gonna get in the best shape of my life, I'm gonna fucking eat, sleep, train, and I mean, I don't know if you want me to get into the story, but so in a nutshell, in a nutshell, I got in. I looked the best I've ever looked. It was 2014, so I'm 30, 31, something like that. And I get to the arena, and so initially I was supposed to wrestle. I don't know if you guys remember a dude named EC3. That was like, it was like Dana or Dixie Carter. It was like her gimmick son. He was in WWE for a while, but he was like the up and coming heel guy.
Right.
And so the thing was, I was supposed to wrestle him. And so I'm like, hell yeah, he's going to beat me, of course. But like, I'm wrestling like their main event guy. That's like, I don't think he had the title, but he was like in the title picture, And so I'm stoked. I'm like, he's going to make me look good. Like, I'm going to be this all-American baby face in his home state. And like, the vision's just, and so I get there, and Al Snow is the agent. And so I get there, and they didn't give a shit about me, but I was like, hey, I'm Dab, I'm supposed to be wrestling EC3 tonight. He goes, oh no, we changed it. Okay, cool. I still didn't really care. I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm here, like whatever.
Yeah.
Freaking locker room about to wrestle, And so he's like, you're gonna wrestle Dewey Barnes, and I'm like, who the fuck is Dewey Barnes? And and so they literally had a gimmick that he was like the hot, and I don't think really, I think he was a wrestler, but he was like the dude that sold like hot dogs and merch. And so
I read this story.
Yes.
So I had to.
Oh no.
Well, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, Dewey. If you hear this, fuck you. 12 years later, you can suck my fucking dick. Okay. So I have no shame, buddy. So I go up to Dewey, and I'm like, I'm still trying to be super professional and nice and like, humble, and I'm, little fucking handshake and whatever. And I'm, happy to be there. And so, I was like, hey man, I'm Dab. I was like, you and I are working together tonight, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. And first off, like, wow. Who are you? You're the hot dog guy, right? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm being nice to you. And so, man, he won't go over anything with me. He was just like, I'll see you in the ring. Like he's the ECW veteran. So, we get to the only saving grace is I got to cut a promo. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I was so pissed. Like, like I legit, like there was no like, hey, I'm going to walk out there and say this. I was like, fireballs were like coming out of my eyes. I was so mad. And I come out and I just scathed everybody there, just like, I don't care. I don't care. This is my dream and y'all have fucked me. And I was furious. Right. And so anyways, cut this great promo. I'll have to find it and send it to you. It's like oh yeah. It's like chef's kiss good. Anyway, he comes out there, dude. He just like, he won't cooperate. Like he's in the wrong spots. There's a really great picture of me where I'm like sitting on the rope, like about to do an elbow drop. Mm-hmm. And it looks like I've been sitting there posing for 30 seconds. That's because I had been, because he wasn't in the right. he wasn't in the right position. And I'm like,
oh my God.
There was like 2 or 3 things that I was like, if if it was just like some dude in an indie show that was like a dick, I'd just hit him the wrong way. And like, that's on you for being in the wrong position. But like, I was like, man, if I hurt this guy, then I mean, not that I probably have a chance anymore anyways, but like, I mean, that ship has sailed. So anyways, the match was freaking awful. It made me look like crap, and it wasn't my fault. And I like, look, man, I'm my biggest hypocrite, or not hypocrite. I'm my biggest critic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And like, if I do something wrong, I mean, like, there's certain things, whether it be a wrestling match or a song or anything, that like everybody in the world could think is great, and I'm going to nitpick it and be like, oh, I should have zigged when I should have zagged. And, it's just how I am. A perfect. I would have about 1,000 every single thing that I do. And so anyway, man, I freaking HBK 98 WrestleMania it, man. I literally, I walked the back, didn't say a word to anybody, grabbed my bag, like even did kick the freaking door open. It was just like, I was so bad. And I've heard that there were people, that didn't really think very highly of that. So, but anyway, so that was like my last. At that point, to answer your question in 10 minutes,
it's all good, man.
That was kind of the end for me. Like, I was like, all right, well, at this point, I'm just gonna maybe mess around and have some fun and do a show here and there. But I was a little bit more because I was fairly consistent for another year or two, and then it just turned into like, hey, this would be cool, or hey, I'm gonna be in town and there's this show going on, and so had hit me up. It really just kind of turned into. It was more of a. I spoke and spoke about wrestling in like a past tense, pretty much. After that,
I get it.
Yeah,
it's I can say for me, and I think I could probably speak for Scott. All the guys that we've interviewed or talked to so far from the CWF, Coastal Wrestling Federation here in Pensacola, in the Panhandle, they've all been really nice guys. I can't imagine any of them.
Yeah.
When somebody comes up to introduce themselves, I can't. Even the heeliest of heels on their team, I can't imagine any of them acting that way to a fellow wrestler.
Yeah,
especially when they never met, and they're like, "Okay, I want to make sure I'm not going to get myself killed, in the ring. I want to find out a little bit about this person." And I'd want to make sure you knew what you were doing.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk to you about your past bouts.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. I mean, I know a lot of those guys that work down there, and they're all super super good guys. But the things, I think the business or just the era has changed. I mean, you got to think like when we were growing up, the guys that we watched, the Rick Rudes, all these guys that were just badasses. Like, I mean, they were leaving the arena and freaking, chugging 16 beers to the next town, doing blow and,
doing lines of coke before they walked out on stage.
Yeah. Knocking down whatever whatever ring rat was in that town. And guys today don't party like that, which is not a bad thing. But
they're going to live longer.
Yeah.
They feel a lot better when they hit 60.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that has a lot to do with it too. It's just people, as opposed to going on benders while they're traveling, they leave the show, go grab, a Waffle House or something, and then go home and play video games, or there's not that. Which is, again, I'm not hating. I wish I would have gone home and played video games for 10 years, but I didn't. But yeah, no, that's. But no, it was. But even like, I mean, 2005, 6, 7, whatever. I don't know. I think it's just because of our age. Like, to me, that doesn't seem like that. When I say 2007, like I don't think to myself that was almost 20 years ago.
Right.
I think 2007 was just a couple of years. Like, I'll see a movie that came out in 2007, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's pretty new." And then like they pull out like a flip phone. I'm like, "Oh, okay, maybe it's not as new as I thought."
That phone up on the wall.
That's okay, because I swear I just saw Tango and Cash in the theater last month. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
That was just yesterday, man.
Off the brakes. You mean the greatest movie of all time? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you one more wrestling question before we get into...
we got more wrestling to go.
We're going to have a lot of wrestling stuff.
We got a lot more to go here.
I have to ask while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
How... on there's a website called fandomwrestling.com.
Okay.
I went to your site and it gave like I guess one of your first. Trying to remember because I had it on my phone and now I can't find my phone. I'm an old man. Shut up.
That's all right. Flip phones are really, really easy to lose.
They listed a three-way tag team. A three-way tag team between you and Johnny Romano tag teamed up. How did you guys meet? Do you guys still talk to each other? Do you still,
yeah. He's one of my
friendship because I really dig Johnny. He's a good guy. I dig the hell out of him. I can see how somebody could meet him and be his friend for the next 20 years.
Yeah, man. He and I have had a roller coaster of a relationship, but partly due to me, mostly due to me. But no. So I met this. This is back in the flip phone days, but I had a MySpace page, and so Romano's actually who trained me. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I did not.
So I had a MySpace page, and I hate to we're gonna pull the curtain back a little bit, but guys, my name's not really Dab Savage. That's my gimmick name.
Yeah.
But so on my MySpace, my like profile name was Dab Savage because when I was a kid, I was like, man, I put my name into a porn star name generator, and Dab Savage came out. I was like, well, one or two professions are gonna happen. I'm either gonna do porn or do wrestling.
Possibly both.
Or both, So anyway, I always been a gym guy, and so I would always hang out at the gym. And so when the wrestlers would come and work out, like I'd be like the creepy guy, like, "Hey, Triple H, can I take a picture with you?" And so my profile picture was like me and Triple H, and the name was Dap Savage. So Johnny hits me up, and he's like, "Hey man, I randomly came across your profile. Are you a wrestler?" And I was like, I had done like a 3-day camp with Ted Allen, the Nightmare Ted Allen, like shit. I don't know at one point, but it was nothing. It was kind of a money grab. I could run the ropes and do push-ups or whatever. But so I was like, no, but it's been like my dream. I've always wanted to do it. And he's like, well, like I've got a ring literally in his backyard. And he was like, you got to.
That's who you wrote about.
Yeah, that's Romano.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I didn't. So I don't. Scott and I were talking the same. Like,
I didn't put two and two together.
Well, in the book, I tried not to use names, and so I didn't want to randomly use his name and then not use anybody else's name. So we started training, and then one thing led to another, and we when I first hit the scene, we started we worked one-on-one matches, and then we both realized that we were both like kind of nerds when it came to like 80s and 90s pop culture and stuff like that. So like we're such polar opposites. Besides the fact that we love, like, I can call him and we can have a 45-minute conversation about New Kids on the Block. Besides just like our love for 80s and 90s pop culture, we really are the most complete opposite people in the entire world. I mean, we love that, and we love wrestling. And so we started tagging, and then because we're so opposite, it worked. Because like I was the big burly, come in, boom, 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 and Romano's the high flying, like da, 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 da. So it was a good mix. And and obviously we had a falling out again. 98.4% my fault. Maybe a little higher. I might be rounded down.
It happens.
But we have rekindled our, life's short, man. Holding grudges is stupid. And
yes, it is.
We've rekindled our friendship. We talk. We go through phases just because we both get busy with life, and I've been on different times. I've been on 36 zillion different time zones over the last 5 or 6 years, but we keep up with each other. Like we'll send voice messages on Facebook. We'll go days where we spend hours talking, and then we won't talk for 2 weeks, and we'll pick right back up like we talked 5 minutes ago. But he's a special cat. He's a special cat, and we're still. That's my dog. That's my dog.
That's good. That's cool. I just didn't know how you guys met. I didn't realize that was the guy that was in the book.
There it is. Yeah.
About the ring in the backyard. It's like, oh, I got it.
Roll
I
through
can
the
totally
weeds.
see that.
Oh yeah,
That's cool. That is
cool.
Yeah, we were MySpace official. Wow.
Yeah.
oh, wow. Well, taking it back. way back then. Damn. So in the book there is a story, and you can go as far as you want on this one, but I really had to laugh at you crashing the Hall of Fame party.
Yeah.
That's good.
Dude, that's some balls. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And you pulled it off for a while.
2 days. 2 full
Yes.
days. I mean, I can give you the Cliff Notes version. Would the people listening, you think they like to hear it?
I think they would.
Yeah. That's a good,
So
good story.
I'll try to give you the Cliff Notes version. I like to babble. It was the year that the WrestleMania was in Atlanta, and I was really trying to push Dab Savage. And at the time, I was bowed up to hell, and I had long hair, and had these big chops, and so I got linked up to go to this party that Kevin Nash was throwing. And there's a bunch of old, with it being in Atlanta, and this is we're still only 10 years away from WCW had been removed, and so anyway, I get there, and I'm walking around, I'm like kind of marking out, like, holy shit, like this is cool. And then he's actually now a really good friend of mine, above average Mike Sanders, walks up to me, and he was like, Lash LaRue, is that you? And I'm a Mark, so I'm like, I'm like, Mike, what's up, buddy? And like shaking hands, like, I haven't seen you in 10 years. And his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or something was there, and you could tell that she had just recently dyed her hair. And he's like, oh, let me get so and so. And I was like, damn, last time I saw you're a hot blonde, now you're a foxy redhead or something. And they're like, oh, Lash, you're still so funny. And
oh no.
I'm like, what the fuck? And then and so I had kind of quit watching WCW when like that. I knew Mike just because I always thought he was so great. I think he's one of the most underrated guys, as far as the dude looked like $1 million. He could talk on the mic. I mean, he was a good worker. And I know he did a lot of great things. And like I said, he's still a really, really good friend of mine. But he always stuck out to me in that late era of WCW, just because I thought he was so good. And, he made the most of any time that he had on TV or whatever. But anyway, so, I walk outside, and, I think I was like smoking a cig or drinking a beer, probably both. And, I'm on my BlackBerry, because it's 2011. Same phone as David still got.
Wow.
I wish I had a BlackBerry.
You gonna take that, Dave? Dave's gonna cut a promo by the end of this. Listen, you young son of a bitch.
After my knee heals and the arthritis in my elbow goes away.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I took off my back brace to put this apron on. So that's actually a very true story. So I'm Googling who Lash LaRue was, and I'm like, Lash LaRue. I was like looking at a picture, and I didn't really see it, but I was like, I guess I can kind of see it, And I was like, Lash LaRue, the Raging Cajun. Da, 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 da. I was like, all right, I got it. So I walked back inside, man, and I mean, it was like, because he hadn't done any appearances in like 10 years, and
damn.
And apparently, the real Lash LaRue is like a really good Christian, like, I think he's a preacher or something.
Oh, you were making him look bad.
Oh, buddy. So people were coming up to me, and they were like, I mean, people were pulling out their phones like, you remember when you wrestled Disco Inferno at Halloween Havoc '98? And I was like, fuck Disco Inferno, like. So people were like coming up to me, and they were like, asking for pictures and shit. And I'm a dirtbag, and I mean, I'm fucking kind of poor, and I was like, I'll buy you. I was like, buy me a beer, buy me a shot. I'll take a picture with you or whatever. So I mean, people were just like piling. I'm like, and I'm doing the traditional wrestler pick, whatever. And
Oh no.
so I took. I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, fuck, man. I mean, however many shots, a lot. And so I ended up going into the like. Oh, so Kevin Nash gets on the microphone and he's like thanking everybody for being there and all this kind of stuff. And he was like, he starts naming people, X Pac and Road Dogg and Raven. And then I was over in the corner with my new best friend, Mike Sanders. And he's like, and over in the corner, we got Mike Sanders and fucking Lash LaRue. And the whole crowd starts chanting, Lash,
No.
Lash, Lash. And I'm like,
I gotta go.
So Nash is like, all right, brother, I guess you got to come up here and give a speech. And I'm like,
oh,
I was like, I just Googled this guy 20 minutes ago. So I get up there, man. I some liquid courage in me. And so I'm like, I get on the microphone. And I looked at everybody and I was like, ladies and gentlemen, I am the raging Cajun Lash LaRue, and I'm better than you. And I just like dropped the mic. And they pop, man. Everybody went crazy. And so, I mean, people were coming up to me. They're like, what are you doing now? And I was like, I'm selling real estate in Atlanta or Alabama or something. And,
oh my God.
They're like, how's your wife? Again, I think he's been happily married for 20 something years. And I was like, oh, fuck her. I was like, I left that bitch in Alabama.
No.
And so
did nothing click in the back of your head just out of curiosity? Because I would get in not similar situations exactly, but into something kind of like that. And in the back of my head, something's going, go, run away, get out of here while the getting's good.
It did, except there were some babes there, and they liked old Lashy. We'll put it that way. And so, I mean, I knew that this was trouble.
And you didn't care.
Trouble, Travis Tritt style. But I couldn't break away, and I was so good at it. Like I was better at Lash. I was better at being Lash than Lash was at being Lash. So anyway, so I forgot who it was. It was some, I don't know, freaking fitness model or wrestler or something. And she was like, are you going to the Hall of Fame? And of course I was. I had a $25 ticket. I was going to go sit in the balcony with all the other marks and, wear a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt or some shit. And she was like, well, why don't you come like VIP? I was like, well, that's thanks on that. I'll do that. So anyways, we go, I'm leaving and I'm like, did this really just happen? So I'm walking down the street and you guys know the show The Real World? It came on TV for a billion years. Well, there was a guy on there named Ace that was from Statesboro, Georgia. That he had some bars, and I think they're all closed. I think he's all fucked up, but they were called Flip Flops. And I'm walking down the road, and Ace is outside. Just he'd had a couple himself, and he was like, you're one of the wrestlers, aren't you?" And at this point, I'm fucking Lash LaRue. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Lash LaRue. I'm here for WrestleMania, baby. And he's like, well, come on in. So I ended up staying up drinking with the freaking guy from The Real World till 5:00 in the morning or whatever. I stumbled back. This guy that I had linked up with at a previous WrestleMania, he lived in like Canada. We were rooming together, and I come stumbling in the room at like 5:00, and he's like, what happened? I was like, buddy, you're not gonna believe. So the next day I'm super stoked. So I mean, I had a suit on, man. I was, I'm like, I had my shirt buttoned down to my belly button, and I'm in Lash mode, like.
Oh no!
You come in with your acting chops. You're like, I felt the character. Like I am Lash.
You were there.
Oh, dude, there was if we're grabbing coffee or something, you refer to me as Lash. Like I go to Starbucks, I'm like, Lash over here. Yes, me. So I get to the Hall of Fame thing, man, and it was freaking surreal. Like I walk in, dude. There's Hogan, there's Rock, there's Austin, there's every dude you had ever wanted to be in a room with. Like you're like, holy shit. So Rock and Austin are like, they're not like hanging out with each other, but they're both like kind of at the bar next to each other. And so I'm like, here's my shot. So I walk up and I kind of get in the middle of them, and I was like, Steve, Dwayne, and like ordered some like $40 shot of whiskey that I couldn't do. Probably my credit card probably would have bounced had they not kicked me out. But so I'm sitting there with like my little whiskey glass, like you kind of rubbing elbows with like the two greatest of all time. And
right.
So I'm walking around, and this lady comes up to me, and she's like, "Are you Lash LaRue?" And of course, my head at this point wouldn't fit in this Zoom box. I mean, it was
That's
like
awesome.
I was like, yeah, Toots, let me guess, you want a picture or an autograph? And she said, actually, Dab, I'd like you to get the fuck out of my bar.
Oh.
What? No, you mean Lash, right? She's like, no. She's like, I know who you are. So apparently what had happened was the 10 zillion people that I had posted pictures with drunk was making out with strippers and shit. Had posted all this on Facebook and tagged the real Lash LaRue in it.
Oh my God.
So he gets bombarded. I mean, bombarded with stuff. And yeah, so it was a very abrupt ending to a crazy 48 hours. And yeah, and I have since I actually went on a podcast. My buddy that used to have a podcast had Lash on a podcast, and I tried to like work it. So I like called in and I was like, "Hey Lash, this is Dab Savage. I'm better than like trying to just because I was like, man, maybe we could like work an angle and like have like the fake Lash versus the real Lash. He had first off, he thought I was a piece of shit. And, and second off, he had no interest in doing that. So yeah, buddy, the most famous I ever was in wrestling was not even being myself.
Well, I was reading this story. I like your inflections and your little additions to the story. The woman owned the bar?
Yeah.
That kicked you? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because in my head, it was what's his name's wife, the one who run WWF. Who was that?
Linda?
Yeah, the McMahon. Yeah. I thought it was Linda. I just pictured Linda McMahon walking up to you and going,
no,
get the hell out of here.
That'd have been way cooler. Dude, this lady walks up, like a pretty attractive older lady, dressed to the nine with these two guys, looked like they were Secret Service agents. And I mean, I put up a little bit of a fight, but let's just say, you know how on the opening of Fresh Prince where Uncle Phil's throwing Will out the door?
Yeah.
I was Will.
Oh man. But look at the story you got. Look at the dude. I mean, we've all got stories, but we don't have stories like that.
No. Right. I got nothing to compare with that.
Oh, not even close. But that is absolutely wild. Outside of wrestling and writing, you also acted in movies. Are you still pursuing that, or was it just kind of a thing, or?
Yeah, yes and no. I'm actually going to be in Georgia for a little bit, I believe. And I still keep up with some casting agents and stuff out here. I would like to. I mean, I really enjoyed it. The acting thing was, I kind of got the bug, and I had a friend of mine that, she was like, God, with your look and with your performance and stuff like that, she's like, why don't you do acting? And long story short, I know you're like, yeah, I bet, Chandler. But long story short, I auditioned, or not auditioned. I sent in like some pictures to be an extra.
Right.
30 minutes later, I get a call back asking if I wanted a lead role. And I'm like, man, this acting shit's easy.
God, I wish.
And so, we were talking before we went live, 200 casting calls later and, crickets. And I was like, okay, man, as easy as I thought. But I've had some fun with it, man. I got to meet some cool people. I broke into Jason Bateman's trailer and peed in his bathroom, which was Kind of a bucket list moment.
Well, that was random. What's on your bucket list? Ian and Jason Bateman's trailer's bathroom. Yes,
it was a nice bathroom. I mean, this was
I bet it was.
It was like a really comfy seat. I sat down to pee. I mean, I'll be straight up.
Well, it's a really high-tech bathroom. Of course, you're going to sit down. You got to enjoy that moment.
I watched the top 10 on Sports Center while I casually peed. I got the hell out of there before I got caught.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Absolutely. So what's
to drag guys like you out of the parties I was at as a kid? Like, no, we got to go now. No. I know you have fun. We need to go. Drunk guys in the car with me, all mad because I took them home.
Well, see, and that's
guys out of prison. I ain't got money for that.
That's what I'm going to say about Dab's book. I definitely recommend everybody take a listen or take a read on this book, because it's reminding Dave of his parties. It's reminding me of some really bad decisions I made under the influence and some crazy nights, but nothing like crashing Hall of Fame parties and rubbing elbows and just, hey, Dwayne. Yeah, that's dude. Wow. Just wow.
And just to piggyback off that really quick, you did mention the Kindle version, and that is great. Anybody who's watching this and wants to check it out, please, that's it. It's I'm not going to get rich off of it, but the more people that click on it, the more people that leave a review, preferably 5-star. Just the more, I don't know, I'm still stuck in 1989, but the more the analytics and things like that work.
No,
so anyone who wants something cool to check out, it's an easy, fun read. It would mean a lot to me. If you are interested in like a hard copy of it, you can DM me on my Instagram page. It's just Dab Savage, where I'm tagged in the last thing that you guys posted. So if you're like me and you like the hard hold in your hand copy, I'll sign it and mail it to you. But either way, I'd be super appreciative and super humbled. And I think, even if you're not like a huge wrestling fan, I think you'd really enjoy it. So
yeah, you don't have to be a wrestling fan to enjoy this book. This took me back to when I was in the military in a country that had a very low drinking age. But anyway, I digress. Dab had a lot of fun. So did I. Not like that. I didn't turn out to be a wrestler. We talked about you acting in movies, and speaking of movies, you had told me you have a favorite movie, Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash.
Yeah. What year is Tango and Cash? What year did this come out?
1989.
89. Oh my God. Yeah, 89. Yeah. I can't, my memory's not good. It was a long time ago. That was so last century. But so, Dave, you have the cast. You'd like to
got the cast.
Let us know who's all in here. A lot of names. My God, what a lot of recognizable faces.
And who's a better? Sorry before.
No, please.
Oh my God!
But who's a better heel than Jack Palance?
I know, right?
Such a heel.
I forgot that he was in. It's been a long time since I saw the movie, and when he showed up, I was like, "That's right."
That voice.
He was in.
I mean, you don't have to see him; you just hear that voice. Oh,
it was over the top. It was over the top. But yeah, Jack Palance, Kurt Russell, Sylvester Stallone.
Hot chick from Lois and Clark.
The girl that Terry Hatcher.
Then the guy with the ponytail, Brian James.
Yeah, seen him in a lot of movies.
In Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And he tries to kill the guy.
I saw Clint Howard.
Yeah, James Hong, Clint Howard.
Oh yeah, James Wong. Oh man, I love him.
Star Trek fan?
What's that?
Are you a Star Trek fan?
I'm not. I actually like vagina.
This is for anybody who watches.
Wow, Dave, he just called us gay.
That's fine.
Just kidding.
It's all good,
Mark
man.
Alamo was in this. I'm too busy talking.
You can think what you want. It's all good.
Guys go ahead.
It's funny though. I forgot Clint Howard was in it.
Right.
Yeah. Clint Howard, but David, who was the little scientist guy that I've seen him in so much?
Michael
the little
J. Pollard.
Yes.
And a couple of Star Treks. Once again, I wasn't going to bring that up since I'm gay.
2026, it doesn't matter.
but he was in a couple of the original Star Trek series. He was in Scrooged. He was in like a whole lot of stuff like that. He was one of the homeless people in Scrooged.
That's
And
right. That's where we last saw him because when we reviewed that, yeah.
I'll
So
tell you,
that's been a while.
he was probably my favorite character in this because I like tinkerers. I like guys who build stuff, and they're like the super genius that's always underrated.
Right.
So when he goes up with that van, I'm just like, oh man, I forgot about the van too.
I forgot all about the SUV. I want that.
Yeah.
I need that on my drive to work in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Well, there's the opening scene at the beginning where Sly is following the guy. He cuts out in front of him. He shoots the truck, and the cocaine starts pouring out of the door.
Yeah.
The car that Stallone is driving is a 1987 Cadillac Elante. Mm-hmm. And I used to have one of those.
I love that car. That was cool when those came out.
Yeah, I used to have one, and I'd gotten some financial issues and had to sell it, and I still hate it
damn.
Today. But and then every time even though I love that movie, every time I watch the opening scene, I'm just like,
takes you back. Takes you back. So Dave and I watch a ton of movies, and the more we watch, the deeper we dive into it a little bit. But what I want to ask you is, what about Tango and Cash resonates so much with you when you just respond right away? Hey, what's your favorite movie? Tango and Cash, greatest movie ever made. What about it does it?
It's so many levels, man. First off, you got and to this day, like my Mount Rushmore of actors, especially if I guess we could break it down into, genre or whatever, are Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone. Like I love, I'm glued in front of my TV, for Tulsa King to this very day. Like I love those two guys. I love just like their dynamic, like, and you could like, and then like, just like there's so many little stories going on. Like, them at the beginning, they hate each other because like one's, Tango is like the pretty boy, glasses, always in the front paper. Front paper. Cash is just kind of like the dirtbag, waking up next to a hot girl with a half 50 bottle of whiskey, but he's still a badass. And then, they get set up, and then like then they go to prison, and then they work together, and then they like, but then they still hate each other. They get out, they still hate each other. And then like, we're talking about the scene with the SUV where they get in there and they finally, they take care of business. And then, the intertwining with Terry Hatcher being his sister, like the scene where he's giving them the massage.
Let's stop right there. That was funny as hell. That was great because the audience knows what's going on, but when that camera shifts around and you're right there looking like Stallone, and you're not entirely sure that's his sister. You're thinking at this point it might be his girlfriend.
It's
like, oh my God. That's a great scene.
Yeah.
So you love him, right? Yeah, I love him. Of course. I think I love him more than he loves me.
She's like, and she's sitting there like pushing, and she's like, deeper.
I feel like going in. It went in. Whatever. It's like, yeah.
Well, and then you got Jack Palance as the heel, as the
which is awesome.
Who is great. I mean, just like and like what's always driven me crazy about Tango and Cash, it's nothing about the movie, is that to me, it was set up for a sequel.
Oh,
and it never happened. Like, and I haven't deep dove into like why it didn't happen, but like, with the end, you're like, man, this could be like a Lethal Weapon kind of thing. Like
it absolutely could have been.
I could have seen 3 or 4 of these bad boys popping out, and
a couple of more easy.
And it didn't happen. I would
absolutely could have.
That's like one of those, like, to me, it's always been like one of those like what ifs. Like, what if there were like 3 Tango and Cashes? Like, I would never leave my house.
That's absolutely crazy. You're right. I never thought of it. It's
the way they ended it.
It could have went like Lethal Weapon did. It's a buddy movie at its core. It's Dave and I have watched a ton of buddy movies. That's my favorite genre. And this one hits it. It's It's my God, I forgot about some of the jokes and I can't even, I forgot about them again, but just there's so many one-liners in here.
Oh, yeah.
These two guys going back and forth, and it's you see the chemistry that Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone have together, and it gives the characters, they're such opposites, but they come together for the same cause under the same thing, and it's a good movie. It's a fun movie. It's an
movie.
80s movie.
Oh, it is. Yeah. If you had told me it was 86 or 87, I would have believed you. But I actually checked. My first thought was it was 87, but then I actually looked it up the other night and it was 89. I was like, okay. I mean, and the and like, I don't know. I remember being like little and thinking like FUBAR was so cool. Like,
oh yes, FUBAR. What's FUBAR?
There's actually, it's not far from you guys, but there's a pizza place in Fort Walton called FUBAR Pizza.
Oh really?
And I got like, during football games they do 49-cent wings. Shout out to FUBAR, even though I think you kicked me out last time I was there. Anyway, I bought a hat. I bought a hat from there just because it says FUBAR on it, and I'm such a mark for Tango and Cash.
I like how he points out what FUBAR is when he shoves the hand grenade down the guy's pants and then throws it down the stairs. Boom! It's like FUBAR.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is a good movie. A lot of twist in there with the corruption, but I mean, it's not something that's unpredictable or deep. It's a feel good movie. It's a fun movie. It's an entertaining movie. Action. I mean, hell, we got real cars blowing up, and there's not a lot of CGI floating around in this movie, which is awesome. So, I mean, I'm sure they really blew up Brian James. Shoved that grenade down. He came back, but they really, so it looked really good.
Yeah. Right. Well, and you also had two of the biggest action stars.
Yes.
In their prime, and a lot of that shifted into the 90s and things like that. But man, like I don't know. I feel bad for. I mean, I don't have kids that I know of, but I feel bad for because when I was growing up, it was Rambo and it was Tarzan and
didn't they ask him who do you think you are, Rambo or something like that early in the movie? Yeah. It's like damn.
But it's just that was such an era because these were it's kind of like the wrestlers of that era, you got they were larger than life, you're not going to see Kurt Russell at Starbucks. Like Kurt Russell's a badass, and it's just weird. Like it'd be interesting to talk to someone who's, 20 years younger, 25, 30 years younger to just see because action stars aren't badasses anymore. I mean, who do you have? I mean, you got the dude from, the jacked guy from, God, what's that show? He was in the movie with Kevin James. He's got that show where he's it's not a racer. It's God dang, what's his name? But anyway, I guess you got Jason Statham. Jason Statham's not a badass to me. I mean, he's cool, but I don't know. It's just
no.
Weird.
It is different from when we had Stallone and Schwarzenegger and just there's a different vibe from the action stars of the 80s. They are larger than life. They're jacked. They're built. Yeah. They're wrestlers.
Right.
They're guys you can believe would punch through a wall.
Yes.
And then put the guy on the other side of the wall through it.
Yeah.
You can see a guy like Stallone.
Exactly.
Right.
Schwarzenegger doing that.
And just to jump off of that, when we reviewed the latest Batman movie, Robert Pattinson.
Didn't buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're Batman, so and it's like you said, they've changed. They've
Bruce Wayne was rough.
It's funny that you say that, but and I completely agree. But for some reason we're all like, man, Michael Keaton was the best Batman ever, and Michael Keaton he's not an intimidating guy at all. But
it was his acting ability. He convinced you he was dangerous. His ability to, you believed he was fucking Batman, and that's
in or out of the
and how he would be Bruce Wayne, and he would like do a look or like do something. And you're like, oh man, it's coming. Like like
the big bat signal comes up, and he's sitting in his chair, and he just turns around, and he takes off his glasses, and it's in his face. It's like, I'm going into Batman mode now.
Yep.
That
it wasn't Batman. You know, he was Batman.
That's that I can equate to in wrestling when you see some very small wrestlers, not micro wrestlers, but like some of the small women take down people much larger. They make it believable because they are into that. I see acting and wrestling merge quite a bit because I think in order for you guys to get over with the crowd, you have got to believe your own bullshit.
For sure. But to piggyback off that, it's got to make sense. And if it does have to
make sense.
if I'm wrestling a guy that's 130 pounds soaking wet, and I'm 100 pounds bigger than he is, he's not
better be beating his ass.
Well, he's not just gonna pick me up and body slam him. If he makes me take a bump, he's gotta earn that. Like I gotta be, like just David versus Goliath, like do, and then finally he gets that comeuppance, and
or he's gonna fight dirty. He's gonna pull something out. So there's got to be a way to bridge that reality.
But I've been in locker rooms with dudes that were like that size, and they're like, so I'm gonna hit you with my. I love when you work with like indie guys and they name their moves like you fucking follow them. They're like, I'm going to hit you with my superstar stunner kick. You're like, what the fuck is that? What is that? I'm Jay Superstar. I'm like, I don't fucking know that.
Man, if you would have added a lisp to that, I would thought we were on the playground. Wow.
Red Rover.
Wow. Tango and Cash ending up in prison. That scene in the shower was especially when Kurt Russell dropped the soap and had to go get it. And then they just start trading barbs back and forth. It's like,
all right, Tiny.
Pee-wee.
Pee-wee.
Oh my God. Don't worry, the other one will drop soon. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. It's a fun movie. It's like any of the other 80s movies we watch. They don't give a fuck. It's just here's an action film. We're gonna blow some shit up. We're gonna have somebody naked within the first few minutes of the film. That's a rule in every 80s movie.
Less than 20 minutes. They're in the parking lot.
Yep, right off the bat. It's like, there it was.
The dressing room whenever he goes to talk to Terry Hatcher. I'm like, okay, got to mark it. Okay, got to.
Yeah. I know what decade I'm watching.
We're watching a lot of 80 movies, and I would time when breast showed up. Like
it's usually early.
10 minutes, 5 minutes. If they show up really early, they're not going to have a whole lot going on for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
If they show up a little bit later, it's just going to usually just gets more and more boobs showing up.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, less and less story, less and less violence. Come on.
Yeah, you got to find that happy medium.
You can get both.
There's got to be a happy medium there. You know what I mean? No,
Yeah. I didn't rent a Shannon Tweed movie from the video store because I was interested in the storyline, right?
Yeah.
I remember man, I remember going to the video store, man. I feel so bad for, people coming up now that don't get to experience video stores, because video stores was just like, man, you saw just like the highlight of the day, or the week going. And we used to have one out here, and it was called Videos Unlimited. And I forgot what it was, but during the summer, it was like 5, if they not new releases, but like 5 movies for $5 or something like that.
Yeah, I remember those days.
And man, I would throw in all the classics. I'd throw in Jurassic Park, all that stuff. And then I would slide into the little revolving doors and try to throw in. I was trying to find like a movie that sounded like it wasn't like an erotic thriller or like a porn. There was one. I remember there was one, and I watched it a zillion times. It's so bad, but it's called Dinosaur Island. And it's, I mean,
it already sounds bad.
Yeah, it was probably filmed for like $37 and like a box of Tic Tacs or something. But it's
I've acted in some of those.
But I mean, it was just, I mean, it's literally just like crappy. If you can find it, you should watch it. It's so bad.
All right, Dinosaur Island. Write that down, Dave.
But I mean, it's just 80s cheesy, horrible graphics. But like,
I love stuff like that.
I mean, like within the first 2 seconds, there's like 80 tits just bouncing around. I mean, it's fucking amazing. But I'd always slide that in under like, you know, 50 Goes West or something.
Or like
understand.
In the Clerks movie when they're trying to get the video.
Oh God!
Oh yeah, really dirty videos, and then do you have Happy Poppy Puppy Pup or something like that?
You just going down the whole list.
Did y'all ever? Speaking of video stores, did y'all ever have a video store that like in like the adult room you had to have a key to like get in there? Like they kept it locked, and you had to.
Yeah, there was one in Jersey like that.
So man,
kids just wandering in there,
doing like I did and slide, you know, the movie under Jurassic Park or whatever. But
no, we have to shame you when you come to the desk.
Yeah, and they were in different. The one here was in a blue box. So everything else was like in a yellow or a gray box.
Yeah,
but the one was in blue. So if you come walking out with a blue VHS, we know what you're doing for 3 minutes. You
gotta try and hide it like underneath.
You know, it's never gonna work. You don't even get past the 1-900 ads. You're like, well, I'll try this again later. But man, it was always so funny because, like, you know, I was obviously very, very underage, but you know, sneaking into the, you know, and it was like it'd be like military style. Like you'd be like James Bond, like, anybody looking? You go over there and ask a question. Ask if they have so and so new release.
Distract them.
And then I'd like run, like crawl, get in there, open the door, shut it real quick, and but it was always crazy, like running into someone that you knew and they're like somebody's dad.
Yeah, that's funny.
You're holding that blue case.
Yeah, like
how did this get in my hand?
Well, yeah, or they're in there.
Well, then they got nothing. You got nothing to worry about.
You're like, what? Hey, okay. I mean, I noticed your wife had put on a few pounds, but I see what you're doing here.
Hey, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
$5 and I'll keep my mouth shut. I'm going to the movie.
Yeah. You remember
20 and I'll keep it open. Oh wait.
Yeah. Whoa. I mean, $20 is $2.
Thank you.
It's like, yeah. Hey, Mr. Johnson, you remember that C that you gave me on that test last Tuesday? Yeah. That's looking more like an A+.
Exactly.
I'm feeling an
A. I am surprised you don't have a story like that.
Yeah, right?
I know.
That's in the next book.
Yeah, right.
That's the next chapter.
Part juice.
Oh my God.
To get it back to wrestling a little bit.
Yeah.
The stunts in this movie are freaking phenomenal.
For sure.
Especially when Kurt Russell's character is fighting the Chinese assassin.
Mm-hmm.
The guy jumps out the window and like lands on the car and takes off. And then Russell's character comes flying out the window and, you know, lands. I'm sitting there watching and like, nowadays there wouldn't be any free fall. There would be, they'd have tethers and shit on them. And those guys, not easy to clean up wires back in the day.
No. Or the zip line part where they like, I mean, that's
that's
1989, you know, like we're like,
there's no line
special effects
those guys up.
For the era. And what's so cool about it too is that it, like, I don't know, man. I feel like modern day stuff has gotten so CGI happy.
Yeah.
And I love going back and watching stuff like that. That like you can, it's like wrestling. You can, like, you know, if you watch a really, really good wrestling match, you can get into that disbelief and you can be like, oh man, you know, some of this stuff's bullshit, but these two motherfuckers hate each other, and you know he's gonna get it, you know. And you know, when you watch those movies like that aren't so far fetched and they're not so just like, okay, I mean, really, you know, 78-year-old Nicolas Cage is doing, you know, spin kicks, like, give me a fucking break. But so, but yeah, no, the action scenes in it are fantastic, and it's just it's super, super believable, like you said.
Yeah, because they're done. That's why I love a Tom Cruise movie just because he's America's Jackie Chan. You're going to see some real shit, and that's what's nice about these older movies. We've reviewed movies from many decades over the past few years, and it's the older movies with all the real action, the real car chases, the real explosions, the real stunts. And the lack of CGI really helps keep them timeless. Because old bad CGI, which looks good today, but 20 years from now is going to look like crap. Takes you right out of it immediately. So it's perfect example. We did the movie The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, and then the other one, it came out later, like a sequel, like a prequel or whatever, and it had no practical effects. It was all CGI, and it's a completely forgettable movie. But so that's
I'm kind of like that with the more modern like Ninja Turtles movies, like the old school, the New Line Cinema 89, 1990 new Ninja Turtles.
1, 2, 3, the costumes.
Well, those are so great, and they still hold up. Like you can watch it right now, and you're like, that shit's badass.
But
watch these ones that came out in the last decade, and it's just like I feel like I'm watching a video game. I can't like. I watched the newest one once just because I'm kind of a mark for the Ninja Turtles, but I've probably watched Ninja Turtles 1 and Secret of the Ooze. The third one where they go to Japan is kind of it's still better than the newer ones, but the 1 and 2 are freaking like, I mean, they to this day, like if I'm flipping channels and I see Secret of the Ooze is on, I'm like, well, here's an hour and 40 minutes I'm not getting back.
It's the law. You must watch.
Well, and I think that's another thing too, is I think that that movies of those eras, like you didn't like if a movie was over 2 hours, it was like a big deal, even like Titanic. I mean, not same, it's a different genre, but like it was like, wow, like Titanic, like that's 3 hours. But like when I see a movie that like gets like decent reviews on whatever, and I look at the time and it's like 2 hours and 46 minutes, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
There is one movie that I will recommend. If you don't mind reading subtitles, and even reading the subtitles, you don't have to read them all, is a movie called RRR.
Okay.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's about 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
It's a Hindi movie, and this thing is so fucking action-packed.
Oh my God, it is. I haven't seen all of it. I had to tap out, but damn.
Watch it in one shot. It took me 3 days because I'd watch an hour, stop, because I cannot just sit here for 3 hours. I got dogs to walk. I got to work out. I got to, do other stuff. Just hour. But man, I'm telling you, that hour flies by quick.
That's why it's titled R. Sorry.
He'll be here all night, ladies and gentlemen. I'll check it out. I'll probably do the same thing. I'll probably break it. I'll probably watch it like a Netflix series. But that's another thing too. There's no way I'm going to sit and watch 3 hours of RRR. I will watch it though and let you know what I think. But I can watch 6 episodes of a series on Netflix that are an hour long and like
yes, I can binge a whole season.
I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch it.
I just watched all of season 3. It's like
That Netflix is like, are you still watching? Like, how dare you ask me that, bitch? Of course I'm.
But no, I ain't watching that 3 hour movie. I'm going to watch 6 hours of home improvement shows or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Right. Or Ozark or something, I had to throw Ozark in because I did pee in Jason Bateman's bathroom.
And I have heard good things about that series. I just never got to it. Tulsa King, I have watched at least one season of it, and I did enjoy it. So I have not used Stallone's bathroom, but if I ever do, I will report on cleanliness and modernness and anything. I think if you ever do, we will know about it because there'll be a headline somewhere.
I'll be Facebook Live. I'll be like, hey everybody, it's Zach Savage here. I am coming to you live from Sylvester Stallone's bathroom. Look, there's a picture of Rocky and Apollo Creed. What? Like, if you want me to sit down and pee, hit the heart emoji. If you want me to stand up, make it like.
Oh God. Damn.
Well, I got out of hand pretty quickly.
It's all good. I was just thinking, is that the clip I put up to tease this interview? Out of context, it's going to get interesting. A lot of things are going to be interesting.
The movie.
Well, we didn't say what kind of movie, but yeah. So yeah, I absolutely enjoyed Tango and Cash. I like anytime I get to watch an 80s movie, it brings me right back to last century.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was only 10 years ago, right? It was only 10 years ago.
10 years ago to me.
Yeah. Dave, what's your thoughts on Tango and Cash?
I love Tango and Cash. I forgot a lot of this movie. I've only seen it like 4 or 5 times. So rewatching it this time around, like you see not Sandra Bullock. Damn it. Terry
Yeah,
Hatcher.
Sure. She was in there somewhere. I don't know.
Well,
everybody else was.
Right.
Terry Hatcher and Jack Palance. And I'm like, holy crap, I forgot these guys were in this movie.
Yeah.
It's just action-packed. The stunts in it are great. The explosions are fantastic. I mean, when they go through that wall, they're making their entrance through the wall. I'm like, well, they're here.
Yep.
Here they go.
Yeah. Well,
so yeah, if you like Sylvester Stallone, just go, and Kurt Russell, just go and watch this movie. It's worth it. It is fun. It is absolutely 80s jam-packed. Don't try and make any sense of it.
No.
Just
unplug and have a good time.
Yeah. And if you don't like Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell, like, what the hell is wrong with
you?
I was having a Talladega Nights moment there. If you don't like Big Red, then fuck you. Yeah.
Hey, nobody more American than those two.
Oh, what was it? I don't want to get my ass kicked by a real American or whatever. That was a great little bit there. Yeah. So what's your final take on this movie? I know you love this movie, Dab, but sell it to the listeners.
Okay. Man, it is, wow. For someone who doesn't shut up, you got me to loss of words. That's how good it is. That's how good it is.
Fair enough.
Me who takes a 10-second answer to a question and makes it 44 minutes. Can't even tell you want to watch it. All I'm saying is it's fucking amazing. The acting's great. Kurt Russell and Stallone are badass. Terry Hatcher was a smoke show in 1989, even though I didn't notice this until I was a kid and I was watching Lois and Clark.
Right.
And I forgot who I was watching it with. It was like one of my buddies. We were sleeping over and he's like, I was like, man, like Lois. I didn't know her name was Terry Hatcher. So I was like, man, Lois, my little 12-year-old self was like, man, she could catch it, And he's like, bro, you never seen her ears? This is conversations that 12-year-olds have, right?
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, buddy, I would look at her ears.
Ears?
And then I watched that show, when it came on, and there was she always had her hair down. There was one scene that was like, I don't know, a month after he and I had that conversation, she pulled her hair back into a ponytail, and she's got like Spock ears. And it like,
right.
So that makes it even better.
I know. See, I'm like that. Like I'll see it. I was like Jewel, like the singer Jewel, when she had the fucked up tooth, she was 1,000 times hotter than she was when she corrected it. Like I like
what's her name? Who fixed her name? Or fixed her nose? Jennifer. Yeah.
Oh,
Jennifer Grey.
Jennifer Grey. Yeah.
I like flaws, man. Like if a girl's like a little cross-eyed, I'm like, man, I'm buying you a drink for sure. Like, I want to see you hunting rabbits and birds at the same time, baby.
God damn. Now there is a quote. I like them cross-eyed. They can hunt from both sides of the field. There's the clip. All right. Oh my!
Between that and Stallone's bathroom. I mean, I think you got.
I got something to tease.
I got some tools in the toolbox there, buddy.
Yeah. I'm going to leave that one alone. Oh yeah. So, Dab, anything else you would like to promote or give a shout out to? We have your book available on Amazon, and you had mentioned also if you want a hard copy, reach out to Dab. I'll have links and tags on this podcast. But is there anything you want to
Man, not really. I'm like I said, I've been doing some like Comic Cons and signings and things like that, just to try to get the word out. But just that, just really the book. Obviously, I just got back on Instagram. I had an ex-girlfriend that logged into my account and got me kicked out for like 2 years. So I'm like a novice, even though I've got like a couple thousand followers. Like, so I'm not cool. Like, I'll post something really funny on Facebook, I'll get like 100 likes. I post on Instagram, I get like 3. So I mean, like me on Instagram. I'm trying to become cool and young and hip again.
Story of my life.
I'm trying to figure it out as well. Both of us are.
Like,
so it's
like hashtag please.
Yeah.
Tell your friends. But yeah, I mean, just that really. And yeah, follow me on the old Instagram. I mean, I don't. Who knows what I'll be doing in 2 months or 2 weeks or 2 days. I'm kind of a gypsy and fly by the seat of my pants, and I'll be in Arizona 1 minute and Las Vegas the next minute and Destin, Florida the next minute and Atlanta. Right. Who knows, man? I just, life's short, and I like to just kind of live. I try to live every day. I try to practice what I preach, but I try to live every day to its fullest, and you balance and make some good decisions to balance out the poor decisions, and but yeah, I mean check it out, Kindle. Obviously, if you want a hard copy, hit me up. Follow me on Instagram. And then who knows, man? I could be promoting something in a month, but you won't know if you don't follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe we'll see you at a convention. I hit quite a few usually, so that would be awesome. So, folks, if you like our podcast, first off, Dab, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was very entertaining. I'm glad you reached out to me and wanted to come on, talk about your book, talk about movies. I love talking to wrestlers because I find the whole sports entertainment, the athletic soap opera, just fascinating. And anybody who enters into that, I just find amazing that it's like, man, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
do it again. What's wrong with you?
The involved in that is just. I'm always amazed at it by all the guys do and everything that they can do in the ring. Just like how I've watched, and I'm still dumbfounded how somebody can do a double flip before they land on somebody and not kill not only themselves but not and the person that they landed on, and they can both stand up. It's like. I would die, or I would kill the other person. I don't know, You want to look for the trick, and it's like I don't know if I want to know the trick.
Yeah,
but yes.
Well, I will tell you, if I ever decide to step foot back in the wrestling ring, which who knows, man. You asked me today.
Never say never.
Yeah, you asked me today, I say fuck no. You asked me tomorrow, I might be like, well, But I will tell you will not see me doing a double backflip.
No.
Won't happen. 15 years ago, you wouldn't see me do a double backflip.
Right.
I got a wicked ass leg drop though.
There you go. There you go. You'll never see me do a backflip unless I'm dead. I mean, that's just not going to happen at all.
The stairs by accident.
There you go. That'll happen. That'll be my gymnastic trip right down the stairs. So, folks, if you like the podcast, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. You can check us out on Facebook, Wrestling and a Movie, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go find us. Check out Dab's book. See what he has to say. It's an entertaining read, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks again.
Thanks, Dab.
Appreciate you.